How's it going, everybody? Rybrad here today, and we are here with a brand new episode for you guys on maybe something that becomes a series, maybe something that's just a one-off, but we are going to build our superstar, and then we're going to turn this guy into an actual NHL player and simulate through his career in franchise mode. Now, this is going to take a little while. I'm going to go ahead and take all of the attributes from the players I pick, as you can see behind me here, and put their stats into a shell character and go ahead and simulate through his career. So we have $18 to spend. I created this with the moderators, so if you guys have any objections to it, sorry about that. We just kind of decided, who would be a good value here, and for every dollar. It's not necessarily the best at every position. It's just kind of a ranking system with the dollar values. If you guys want to go ahead and get a link to this, the link is in the description. I tweeted it out just a few weeks ago, seeing what some of you guys had some pretty interesting things there. So go ahead and check that out. Let me know what you would build. But let's go ahead and jump into what I'm going to build. And I think first things first, I think I would just do Barzal's puck skills. I feel like that's a really cheap, easy option there. And probably also go Eichel's shooting, or Eichel senses, excuse me. So that's probably where I want to go for my first two. We got $3 for Barzal. I mean, Crosby's senses are really, really good. So are Marner's. But I think Eichel's that sweet spot, that $3 sweet spot for Barzal and Eichel, which means we still have $12 left to spend. I think, you know what? I'm going to go... I wanted to go McDavid skating, but I think I'm going to go McKinnon, save myself $1 there. I'm jumping over to skating. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit. But that leaves us with $8 in 3 categories. I think I'll take Doughty's defense, which is another $2. So we got Barzal, Eichel, Doughty, McKinnon. So that would be 12, which means I have 6 left. I'm going to take Austin Matthews' shot, and then I'm going to do the size and physicality of Brad Marchand, because Matthews' shot is really good. I'd love to spend the $5 on Ovi, but I'm trying to make somebody that's really, really well-rounded here. So Marchand's size isn't necessarily too bad. Tkachuk is that sweet spot for me. I'd like to get up to Tkachuk, but I just feel like I'd rather have Matthews' shot than Kessel's shot. Even though Kessel doesn't have a bad shot, I think there's just that step up there from $3 to $4. So Barzal's puck skills, Eichel's senses, Matthews' shooting, Doughty's defense, McKinnon skating, and Marchand's physical. Let's just do the math real quick. That's 3 for Barzal. That makes 6 with Eichel. That makes 10 with Matthews. That makes 12 with Doughty. That makes 16 with McKinnon, and 18 with Marchand. So there we go, guys. That is my player. Now we're going to jump over to Chell and go ahead and build this player and see how he does. All right, guys. Here we are. Just finished putting in all of his attributes. He is a 92. I gave him high franchise because why not? Right? And we'll just see how he sims. And season 1 is the most important one. But after that, we'll just see how his career goes, if it takes an interesting turn, and how long he lasts and what his final numbers are before he retires. So his name is Ryan Rybrad. Decided to use my Be a Pro everything. Left-wing playmaker. He's not a sniper. I made him a playmaker. That's just kind of what I felt his stats kind of replicated or aligned to, I should say. I have him going to the Red Wings in honor of them being shafted in the draft lottery last night. They are going to get high franchise Ryan Rybrad, who's already a 92 based on everybody's statistical categories. So he's got his 3-year ELC. They're drafted in 2019, I believe, based on there's the height and weight of Brad Marchand, because that's our size and physical category. Birth year is 2000, because I think that's what it's going to have to be for him to play in the NHL year 1. But we will see. So I'm going to jump into a franchise mode right now, guys, and we're going to have it automated just about as much as I can. So just before we start, I wanted to show you guys all the settings I have. So owner mode is going to be off, but we're going to keep the salary cap on. The reason owner mode is off, obviously, because I don't want to have to deal with that or worry about getting fired. I'm going to have pretty much everything auto that I can. I'm going to obviously let the CPU make trades. Morale and fog of war are going to be off, so we can get just a standard simulation. Head coach is going to edit the lines. And we're going to have auto staff management and auto sign free agents. So hopefully that means they'll auto re-sign Rybrad when his contract is up. But let's jump into this right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn off any kind of notification here. You guys will see the settings real quick. I'm going to turn injuries off because we just want to just straight up how long we can get. Let's go 20 minutes there. CPU trades, obviously pro, medium difficulty. Waivers, I think I'm going to go off because that's just going to be a little bit confusing if I do have to jump in. We're going to have auto scouting, staff management. Let's go to the advanced settings here. Head coach firing pop off, trade offer notification off, waiver notification off. So we just want to get through it. Retired jerseys, blockbuster trade alerts. That's fine with me. I just don't want to have too much popping up in the way here. So I'm going to leave it as normal scoring, a medium I think it is, not low, not high, so we can just see how Rybread does throughout his entire career. But basically the most important one is season number 1 here. I want to see how he does in his first year with all those baseline stats, and then where his career goes from there. But year number 1 is building my superstar. How would they do in this year's NHL? Obviously, there's not going to be a stoppage, and hopefully Detroit can build around Rybread. Yep, there he is, wearing number 2 for some reason. I'm pretty sure I put his preferred number as 80, but there he is. He's going to be up there playing with Mantha and Larkin, so that's a pretty good combo. He doesn't really fit the coach's scheme, but there you go, guys. You can see another brief snapshot here. That's Barzal's puck skills, Eichel's senses, Matthews' shot, Doughty's defense, McKinnon's skating, and Marchand's physical, as well as the size. So right-handed left wing playmaker here. Hopefully 3-year ELC. There we go. So hopefully he can help Detroit not win. Hopefully he can help them win more than 17 games on the season, but this defensive core does not look promising for that. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the entire season, and we'll see you guys after Rybread's rookie season is complete. All right, guys, here we are at the end of the season. Our season ended at the end of the regular season, as you probably could have guessed, and our leading point getter was Ryan Rybread with 64 points, 28 goals, 82 games played. So maybe because he's not playing with too much talent around him, he didn't get a point per game, but I figured like a 92 overall would probably be close to a point per game, but 64 points is not bad. Let's go see how he did in comparison with the rest of the team. And he finished 7 points higher than Dylan Larkin. So very good season for him. 28 goals, 36 assists. So hopefully he can... Wow, he took a ton of shots. 313 shots. Shot 9%. So that only bodes well for his future. Unfortunately, Detroit did not make the playoffs, but we did finish with 81 points, 37, 38, and 7. So much improved based on what they did in real life this season. But then again, it is the sim. It's completely random half the time. Only 14 points out of the playoffs. So at least out of an Atlantic Division spot. How about the Metro? Okay, yeah, same difference basically. So that was season number 1. Let's go ahead and see how he progresses and who Detroit who they get in the offseason to build around Ryan Rybread and Dylan Larkin. We're here at the draft lottery, and this time Detroit doesn't move up. Well, they don't move down this time either. Ottawa jumps and actually wins this time. LA gets screwed. Philadelphia jumps up, and Columbus, we stay at number 5. So I wonder who we're going to get at 5. Noah Lafreniere to bolster the squad, but that's okay. He's also a left wing, same position as Rybread. I want to see who won the awards. Hopefully Rybread won the Calder, won the Rookie of the Year. Just continue simming. Come on. Oh my God. I never realized how many pop-ups there were until I'm just trying to simulate through this. So check out the awards. And your Stanley Cup champions are the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa Bay won the President's Trophy. It was Colorado versus Toronto. So 2 of the players we actually picked categories from, Matthews and McKinnon facing off. But individual awards, Tyler Seguin won the Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris went to Carlson, Lady Bing to Patty Kane. Rybread did win the Calder. That's nice to see. Conn Smythe to Tyson Barrie. Vezina to Frederick Anderson. Wow, Toronto had a really good season, it seems. Bill Masterton goes to Yossi. Poulin of the Devils wins the Jack Adams. Good for him. Wouldn't you think it would be Tampa Bay? But then again, I don't make these rules. Ryan O'Reilly wins the Selke, and Ted Lindsay goes to Tyler Seguin, which is pretty much in line with how it should go. And Patty Kane won the Maurice Rocket Richard. Awesome. So we'll jump in. We'll simulate through the first round. We'll simulate the picks because I'm gonna just let the game do as much as it wants to do. Ottawa with pick number 1 takes Lafreniere. Congratulations. Number 2, Ponomarev. That's a rip to the Philadelphia Flyers. Raymond goes to Columbus. The LA Kings are going to take Cole Perfetti, which will leave us with an option of Holtz or Summers. That would be really nice to get a guy like Holtz. What is his player type again? Does it say? Does it not tell me? Oh, it's 2-way forward. And then Maddox Summers is a sniper. We could go Byfield. We could go Lundell. Rossi is good too. Oh, Stutzel's still on the board. I was gonna say where's Perfetti, but he just went. I don't want to make the pick. I want to let the computer make the pick. So we'll go ahead and simulate because this is the only important one really of the draft. Sim pick, and it is gonna be Holtz, a really smart pick, I think. A two-way forward right winger, maybe to replace Mantha in the future, but he's gonna pair up nicely with Rybread and Larkin if we can keep them both. So sim options, we'll just simulate the entire draft, and then I'll jump in when we get to free agency. So I'm going to let free agency sim here, guys. I'm pretty sure we did re-sign. I saw that they offered qualified one of our RFAs. So it's good to see that the computer is going to take over and I don't have to worry about this. It doesn't look like we signed any free agents, though, which is a little concerning. Hopefully the computer, when it says auto-sign free agents, like they'll go after big names and we don't just get shafted in year number one, and then, which means I have to then take over. Which I don't want to do. I just want to simulate his career. Let's go ahead and check out the lines. Did we get anybody new on the squad? Rybread's now up to a 93 overall, which is nice to see. I think his wrist shot grew. He got faster. I don't think anything else really changed from what I can see. Still have Larkin and Mantha, Zadina, Rasmussen, and Robbie Fabry, Bertuzzi, Filppula, and Taro Heroes, Adam Ernie, Franz Nielsen, and Brendan Perlini. So not bad. Did we sign any defenders? No, we didn't. We didn't go after a single defender. How about goaltenders? Do we still have... Oh, we actually went out and signed Braden Holtby. So we went and signed both Linus Ullmark and Braden Holtby. I really should check that out and see who we signed. Like, because who's new? I don't exactly remember who's new, but let's check the signings. Here we go. Where's Detroit? So there's a bunch of, oh, I guess it's not going to show me. Awesome. So thank you, NHL, for telling me who we didn't get, or not even bothering to. So let's go ahead and view our contracts real quick. I wish we could see like last year's free agent class. So it doesn't look like we signed anybody new for the forwards. I mean, Zadina's up here now, which is nice. I don't think he was here last season, so that's nice to see. I think we might have signed Adam Ernie, but I know we definitely signed both Holtby and Ullmark. We also signed Bernier. Bernier got a $3 million contract for a season, and we also signed Holtby. And okay, so we took all of our cap space and said, screw it, we need a goaltender, which maybe is a good idea. Probably bad. Maybe they offered Bernier $3 million because they were worried about potentially not getting a guy like Holtby. But dang, we gave Holtby such a cheap contract. Okay, I take it back. They did fine. Bernier's only a season. It's not my job. So let's go ahead and simulate to the end of season number 2 and see how we finish and how Rybread progresses. At the end of year number 2, things haven't gotten much better. We actually got worse. We went 35, 40, and 7 this year for 77 points. So we finished 4 points worse while having a better goaltender. 2 better goaltenders, I might add. But Ryan Rybread did finish a point per game with 39 goals and 43 assists. So he finished with 82 points. The thing that's holding us back is we have absolutely no defensemen. And I mean no defensemen. The first line was a plus. Rybread was only a plus 10, but Larkin and Mantha were 20, plus 20, and plus 22. Larkin had a good season. That's a really good season for Dylan Larkin, and he's still signed to his contract. Rybread here still has 2 years left on his ELC. Actually, 1 year left after this one. And Mantha I think he got a contract extension of that 3 years left at $8 million. So how did our goaltenders do? Poorly, very poorly. But then again, if you guys have seen the defensive core that we have in front of them, I'm pretty sure any goalie would do poorly. As far as entire league, yeah, Jack Eichel's first, McDavid, Besser, Marchand. So a couple names here that we saw that we did take from, but Ryan Rybread is not quite an NHL league leader in points yet. Probably has to do a little something with the team he's on, but we're gonna let that slide. Let's go ahead and simulate up to the draft here, and hopefully we can win the lottery and draft a defenseman. We just need to take a defenseman. All right. But first, I want to see what our contract situation is like. Who do we have expiring? Filppula, Heroes, Erne. Okay, so yeah, not too many notable names. Hopefully, we can start to shift some of our cap space around. How much will we have? Let me just offer a contract extension. We'll have $13 million in cap space. It's doable. It's definitely doable. Goalies, Bernier's expiring, which is fine with me. The $3 million for an AHL goalie. Are you serious? Anyway, that is that. So let's go ahead and get to the draft, and hopefully we can win the lottery or just do something good, please, AI. That's all I'm asking. I don't want Rybread's career to be wasted. because he's not going anywhere for a long time, I don't think. Here is the draft lottery, and once again, Detroit gets boned. We dropped from 4 to 6. So we were at 5th last year. We were at 4th this year, but now we dropped to 6. Last year we stayed at 5. LA is going to move up from 3 to 1. Montreal jumps from 9 to 2. Vegas jumps from 6 to 3, which results in us moving down. So there you go. Go ahead. That's fine. I don't care about the draft class rankings. We're going to go ahead and check out the stats here in a second. The awards, I should say. That time of year. Continue simming. Oh my god, I really don't care about any of this. Just get me through this. Carolina, congratulations on winning a Stanley Cup. Rybread is up to a 94. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Carolina won the Stanley Cup this year. Toronto was the best team, but it was Dallas against Carolina. And Carolina came out on top. Jack Eichel wins the Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris goes to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Lady Byng to Pettersson. Calder goes to Vesalainen. Conn Smythe to Mrazek. Vezina went to Mike Smith, who's now on Buffalo. Interesting. They got rid of Allmark and took Mike Smith. Interesting. Antti Raanta wins the Jennings. I think did he split it? No, he did not split it. Pulock wins the Masterton. Chicago's coach wins the Jack Adams. Our coach is certainly not going to. Kopitar wins the Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Eichel, and then Maurice Rocket Richard goes to Kucherov. So I think this third season for Rybread is going to be a pretty interesting one. I don't know if we fired our coach or not yet. Coaching staff, let's go ahead and check that out. No, he still looks like he's been here. I think Sotheby, has he been here for 2 seasons? Yeah, he definitely has been here for 2 seasons. He should really just be fired. Like, just get rid of him. Like, honestly, he doesn't fit Rybread. I'm not going to do anything about it, but all right, game. Let's go ahead, see who you're going to draft and who is going to hopefully be a savior. Please make it be a defenseman. So those are the guys that went there. Oh, Hirvonen actually was is he better than Rotti? I don't know. It's up for debate, but pick number 6. Who is on the board? We could get Jirky Allen or Joshua Roy or Wah. I don't know how they pronounce it, but we're going to let the computer make the decision, sim the pick, and it is going to be Roy, who's a high top 6. Please tell me that the other guy's not medium elite, and Allen's 81 medium elite. Allen, excuse me, it's Allen, not Allen. Allen, wow, is a medium elite power forward, 81 overall, and we passed on him. That's not going to help. Let's get to free agency. So guys, the good news is we did let the computer go ahead and they've re-signed players, and they did let some older guys go. So that is nice to see. I wonder who we could go after. I'm gonna go check this out in a second. Oh, we want to go after Merrill. Okay, that's our first thing to do is we go after John Merrill, 81 overall. Are there any other defensemen out there? You might want to go after a guy like Dougie Hamilton or Petrie or Brody or Brodin or Larson or Bufflin or Goligoski or Montour or Niskanen or somebody who's better than an 81. Come on, we have 12 million. I know we got to look out for Rybread's contract coming next season, but still, we're going to go ahead and advance a few days here and see if we go in for anybody else. We'll simulate up to July 4th and see who else we have approached. Who is the computer approached? They did go after Brandon Montour, so maybe we can get Brandon Montour this season. Maybe we can get Merrill. Did we go after another goalie? Thank God we did not. But we are going after defensemen. They did appropriately identify that those were our targets. And here's July 5th. We should know if we got them or not. Let's go ahead and view the contracts. I wish it would still pop up, even the computer signed them. But we should go to defensemen, and we've got neither of them. Did we miss out on both? I think we missed out on both of them. That's fantastic. Or they haven't accepted yet. They haven't accepted yet. Hopefully, maybe. Let's go ahead and double check here. Approached. Nobody. So it looks like those two guys are going to go elsewhere. So let's check the feed. Where did they go? We missed out on Montour and what's his face? Merrill. Right. Okay, so Dougie Hamilton went to Vancouver. Interesting. Oh, we did sign John Merrill. Okay, interesting. And do we get anybody else? It doesn't look like it. Brandon Montour went to Toronto on a 1-year deal, so we get Merrill, but we miss out on the better of the defensemen. And our defense, of course, is still going to be absolute garbage. So unfortunately, we can't have the auto trades on either. So I'm just going to sim to next season. We're going to get to the last year of Rybred's ELC. And is he going to stick around in this shit show? Maybe they can do a little bit better. All right, guys, here we are. Here are the new lines. We've decided to move Zadina apparently up to the first line, playing with Larkin and Rybred. He's now at 94. I think his puck skills got better. His poise definitely went up. His discipline went up. His shot didn't get any better. I don't know if I think his physical did go up a little bit. Skating stayed just about the same, and defense went up just a little bit. So at the age of 20, turning 21 this season, coming off an ELC, I wonder if they are going to go ahead and sign him. Oh, God, I want to change this so bad. It would be -1 if I did that, but I'm not allowed to touch anything. Defensively, here's what we're looking at. A really, really bad defensive core. It's a bunch of guys that are, one top 4 defenseman in Chalovsky. Scratched is Ernie and Dmitry Kulikov. We still have Holtby, who decreased in Linus Allmark, so hopefully those guys can have some kind of a studly season. But that is that. We will go ahead and get to the end of year number 3, and can we please make the playoffs at least once in Rybred's career simulation? So guys, we are at the end of year number 3, and I told you this was that make it or break it season for Rybred. 97 points, 82 games played, almost 50 and 50, 47 goals, 50 assists. Missed the playoffs though again by 1 point behind the Flyers. We had finished with 39, 33, and 10 with 88 points. The Flyers made the playoffs with 89 points. So that is a good. That's a good thing. We a step in the right direction. Rybred still just can't make the playoffs. He's taking the Jack Eichel approach right now of doing really, really well in your first 3 seasons, and you just can't make those playoffs. So let's go ahead and check out how he did against the entire league, because now we might have a chance to actually win some trophies. Larkin finished 15 points behind him after that. Mantha with 65. I wonder if Zadina played the whole season on that first line. It looks like he probably did, yeah. Larkin played more time than Rybred, about 2.5 minutes. Did our goaltenders have a better season? Our goalies did have a better season. That's really nice to see. But that's not the important part. What we care about is Rybred. Let's go ahead and see, did Rybred lead the league? No, he was close. He's only 6 points off of Stamkos, and as far as goals, he was only 5 off of Hall, Sagan. There's Kessel. Maybe we should have taken Kessel's shot instead of Matthew's shot. But overall, I think this is a really good season for Rybred. I think he'll build off of this, and we'll just see what kind of contract he's going to get at the end of this year, because it's probably going to be absolutely massive. I wonder if we've already extended him or not. Let's go ahead and double check and see if he has got a contract extension, or if we're going to have to worry about where he's going to go. He actually does not have a contract extension. We only have 11 million in cap space. And Rybred, wait, hold on. Let's offer a contract extension. He wants 10 million, where we have 34 million. So maybe they just didn't want to go negotiate a contract extension during the season. But it looks like we'll be able to bring Rybred back. So let's go ahead, get to the draft. We won't have that high of a draft pick, but we'll just still simulate right through it. I will see you guys actually just at the start of the re-sign phase, because that's the most important part of this season now. Here's the draft lottery, guys, and it's kind of nice to know that we were the best team to miss the playoffs. I mean, that kind of sucks that we missed the playoffs, but it's a lot better than picking the fourth best odds and the 5th best odds. Having the 15th best odds is really good, and it's just a sign of improvement from the team, and that the AI might be actually doing something right. We know Rybred's not retiring, so we're not going to care about retired players just yet. Joe Thornton is now a coach, and there's a couple guys that are now scouts. I don't care about the coach retirement. We're going to let the computer deal with all of this. Pro Scout on the line, and all right, we are here at the draft. The Stanley Cup champion this year is the Nashville Predators. I wonder who, the Toronto Maple Leafs, again, best team in the league. It was Nashville versus Toronto. Toronto made it back to the playoffs for the back to the Stanley Cup Finals for the 2nd time in 3 years. Ended up losing to the Predators. I don't know what the series length was, but Stamkos is going to win your Art Ross. The Hart goes to Taylor Hall. Morgan Riley wins the Norris. Pettersson wins the Lady Byng again. Calder goes to Hirvonen. Yeah, that was a really good pick from them. UC Saros wins the Conn Smythe. Wow, so apparently UC Saros just carried Nashville there. Ben Bishop wins the Vezina. Anderson wins the Jennings. Masterton goes to Werenski. Vegas' coach wins the Jack Adams. Bergeron wins the Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Hall. And Rocket Richard goes to Hall. So that is all the awards. Let's go ahead and see. Actually, just skip the draft, because I don't really care about the draft. We're picking, what, 15th? I'm just going to auto-draft. That's kind of nice, though, that if you accidentally hit Advanced Day, it doesn't completely screw you. That is really nice to see. So Expiring contracts. I'm going to let the computer. Ryan Rybread is a restricted free agent this season. I want to see what they're going to do with Rybread and maybe his contract demands. We'll see. He wants to come back, and he's now a 95 overall at the age of 21. Puck skills haven't really increased too much. Offensive awareness has, though. His senses went up. His shot has gotten so much better. Wow, his defensive awareness is really, really good as well. And physical category staying relatively similar. Same thing with the skating. Skating increased a bit from his rookie season, but he is doing really, really well. Nice to see that his offensive awareness is getting up there super duper high. Let's go to Unsigned. Who is a new rookie? I think they would be, what? These are our UFAs right here. We took McCollum. I think we just took him this season. Yep, 2022, 15th overall. 73 overall at 18 is really, really good. Landon McCallum, Weiberg, Lapierre. Okay, so there we go. Those are the guys we have signed. And we'll go to the last day of free agency, and hopefully Rybread will extend with us. We'll see what kind of contract he gets and what they give him, because I didn't actually check. Coaches have not been renewed. And okay, Scout's not renewed. I'm going to let the computer deal with the staff management. Contract limit warning, and Ryan Rybread is back. They did re-sign him. What is the contract that he got? $10.5 million. Okay, until for how many seasons? Wow, that's a pretty good contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-year deal at 10.5. So he's taking more of a Matthews approach, I see. They do have to sign Larkin and Mantha and Zadina next season. So this is pretty much the season for us to really make a push. Perlini as well, but we got to see what are they going to do in free agency. Let's see. Have they approached for anybody yet? We will advance a couple days just to see who they go in for here on the 4th. And okay, who is the computer trying to sign right now? Approached is Manson. They're definitely trying to address that defenseman issue. Instead of going big there, kind of being smart. We do have 20 million in cap space, but again, we have next season. We have 50 out of 50 contracts, and we offered 2 contracts. That's not going to work. They're not going to come. We're not going to get either of those guys, probably because our contracts are going to be too high or too much, too many contracts. So really doubt that we're going to get those guys. Let's double check here. See, did we get either of those defensemen? It was Manson and somebody else. Nurse. We did. Oh, yes, we actually got Nurse. So we actually are improving the defensive core just a little tiny bit. So that's actually perfect. We only have 53 contracts. Interesting. I don't know why it said 50 out of 50. But Darnell Nurse comes, but Manson does not. I don't know who else we have signed, but that's all I care about is we got Nurse. Let's jump ahead to next season. At the start of next season, here we are. It's still Rybread, Larkin, and Mantha. Zadina, I guess, gets demoted. Plays with Veleno and Fabry. Svechnikov now plays with Rasmussen and Heroes. And then Adam Ernie finally makes his way back to the roster, playing with Holtz, actually playing center. Is this his first season in the NHL? Yeah, it is. He played in the NHL or the AHL with the Grand Rapids Griffins, finished with a good amount of points there. Perlini's now on our 4th line with him, so I guess they're just trying to not overuse him, but also give him some help around him. Defensively, that's not good chemistry-wise. Nurse and Sider. Actually, Moritz Sider, where did you come from? Did we draft him? I guess we drafted him in 2019, 6th overall. Finally makes his way to the NHL here, playing with Nurse, so it's looking a lot better. Defensive core is looking, I say a lot better, but you got to remember where we started. It's still not great, but goaltending-wise, we still have Holtby. Jonathan Bernier is now back. Did we re-sign him at all? Maybe we did, and we think we might have let Allmark walk. So scratched is Timashev and Jan Ruda. So that's, you know what, the team looks actually pretty good, especially with Rybread chilling up there. I think we got a new coach too, because now he kind of fits the scheme a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and check our coaching staff real quick. Did we get a brand new coach, or did I miss that last season? Yeah, Belak, it was not our coach before. Gordy Belak was the coach of Washington and the Belleville Senators. I think they won the Calder this year, and then he was hired from Washington. Actually kind of makes sense. Fired from Washington about halfway through the season, a little bit over half. Not really had a great career in the NHL, it seems, but hopefully he does better here than he did in Washington. So we now have officially gotten to the stage of Rybread's career where we got to make the playoffs at some point, right? This is season number 4. How are we going to do? Let's make the playoffs, boys. I think we got a chance. We got a pretty good team. Oh boy, we might have another Jack Eichel situation on our hands. A terrible season, coming off of a season where we finished 1 point out of the playoffs. We now finish a whopping 25 points out of the playoffs, finishing under 500, 33, 41, and 8. Rybread does put up 50 goals on the season, 91 points, but it's not enough to get us into the playoffs. It's not even enough to get us even close. Larkin also continues to be a very, very good 1-2 punch with Rybread, but it's just not enough for the team. I mean, the defensive core is absolutely just a joke. Moritz Seider hopefully will grow and be the leader of this defensive core. I mean, Rybread's here for another 5 years after this. I think it is 5 years. Yeah, 5 years after this. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and double check the NHL stats so we can get a little preview on how we're looking. It was close. He was in the top 10 for points. As far as goals scored, well, Ovi puts up 63. This was probably Rybrad's best season to win an award. I don't think he's going to. He won the Calder, to be fair, but 50 points, 50 goals to Ovechkin's 63. He did finish with more points, but you'd really like to see him start to maybe win a trophy, get something he deserves, because he's had a really good career so far. If we check out his career in 4 seasons here in Detroit, he's played 328 games, over a point per game, and 164 goals scored. He's a plus 54 as well, so he's had a good career. It's not necessarily been, bad for him here and in Detroit. It's just we can't make the playoffs. The team is not good. So guys, I will see you at the draft lottery, and hopefully we have a chance. I mean, we do seem to oh my god, the Flames are bad, wild, but we seem to have one of the better chances, maybe 6th or 7th. So we'll see if that we can maybe get lucky and win the lottery finally. But again, we are Detroit, so here is the draft lottery, a really boring draft lottery, I must admit. Calgary stays at 1, Minnesota stays at 2, Montreal jumps Buffalo, but only 1 spot, and we stay at 5. Really, nobody moved anywhere. So we'll go ahead and flip through all of this real quick. Check out the winners. You guys can see over there, Tampa Bay did win the Stanley Cup this season. That's fine. I don't care about who's a scout. Draft interviews, really don't care about these. Hopefully we can just go after somebody big in free agency. I mean, I know we have to sign Larkin and Mantha, but I'd sacrifice Mantha for a top defenseman. Can we do that, please? Advanced day, auto draft. Not sure who we're gonna get. Probably should have checked because we are picking 5th. So we'll sim to the resign phase. Check that out here in just a minute. A couple scouts. And there we go. Those are the RFAs. Don't really care about those. Not my job. My job is just to be a fan of Rybread, who's now a 96 overall. Mantha did get a new contract extension, but Larkin has not yet. He does not want to come back either. At a 91 overall at 26, he is a UFA, and he is allowed to walk if he wants. Unsigned. Let's go ahead and check out this. And it looks like we took Jang. I mean, 1878, that's not bad at all, but it's another forward that we don't really need. I don't know if there was a defenseman or not, but hey, look, we also got a low elite, so go us. Man, that's tough. Who is expiring? Is it time for the goaltenders to be expiring? Just Bernier, so we still have Holtby, which is nice. Hopefully we do bring back Dylan Larkin, but we will see. We'll see if Larkin's a free agent out there and if we have to go out and bid against other teams to bring him back, because I think we have enough cap space to re-sign him. That's fine. End of the re-signing phase. A couple scouts not re-signed. That's fine. I don't really care. Contract limit warning. Not worth checking out. So let's go ahead and advance a couple days here up to the 4th. See who we're going after, and then we can see who maybe we'll get. Because last time I thought the contracts were going to be our downfall until Larkin's a free agent. Shoot. Who's interested? Offer him a contract. Is it Washington? It is Washington. But we're going after Chris Letang. So we're going to sacrifice Dylan Larkin and bring in Letang is the goal of the computer right now. Who have we approached? Letang, Wenberg, DeAngelo. Oh my God, we are going all in. Boys, this could be the move, is to let Larkin walk because we have Rybread to build around. And Mantha, and I think we have plenty of centers. Good bunch of young guys coming up too. So if we can get Letang and Clefbaum, or DeAngelo and Clefbaum, I'd really like Letang. Letang would be a really, really great get. Wenberg here, 85 overall. Another solid center to fill out the roster. So hopefully we can actually go ahead and sign those guys. One more day here. We'll advance the day. Did we sign anybody important? Did we get any of those guys? That'd be huge signings. Let's see. Detroit, we got Chris Letang, so that's huge. We got ourselves a #1 defenseman. We didn't get anybody else, it seems. Clefbaum went to Vancouver. Tony D'Angelo went to Vegas. Evgeny Svechnikov went to San Jose, so we did lose Svechnikov. Who else did we go after? Dylan Larkin went to Montreal on a 1-year contract. So look at that. He goes to Montreal. Interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. Wenberg went to Boston. So those guys staying in the division. Dislike that. And then there was one more guy. Oh, Clefbaum. Yeah, I already said Clefbaum. So, all right. We get Chris Letang, which is the big one. We finally got ourselves a #1 defenseman. We'll have to see just what the lines look like at the start of next season. And I'll go ahead and jump right there now for you guys. So we are going to get back at Boston, and we're going to snap back at them, and they took Larkin, so I guess we're going to take Bergeron. This is actually a pretty good first line. Fabry, Joshua Roy, who you guys remember we drafted 6th overall in the year 2 draft. After the second season, we drafted him. And then he's playing with Zadina Holtz here, who we drafted in the year 1 draft, is now on the right wing with Veleno and Heroes. And then we got Perlini, Rasmussen, and Dmitro Timoshev. Okay. And then defensively, we've got Seider and Letang, which is a pretty decent first pairing. Nurse and Hronik, and then Merrill and Cholowski. Cholowski really just stalled out. He never really grew much more. But except for the -1, I think this is a pretty solid team. I mean, Bergeron will hopefully do good things for us. And in goal, we still have Holtby, Matthew Villalta, which is not good. I think we are also under the amount of skaters you have to have. So in about a week, the game is going to auto-sign. I thought I had it signed for us anyway, but I guess it just didn't feel like it. But Rybread is now a 96. Puck skills went up a little bit. His senses keep going up, man. His poise 98. His shot is still the same. His physical still the same. His speed is now a 97, and he's amazing defensively. So this is pretty good defensive first line here. But it's good to see them go after Bergeron, who fits the first line. That's a really good thing to see, is that they went after somebody who fit the scheme. It's nice to see that we got some young guys too, like Holtz and Roy or Wah coming up here. I don't know how to say it, so I apologize if I'm butchering it. I'm going to stick with Roy. But let's go ahead and get through this season. This is season number 5 here, guys. Can we please just this is season number 5, right? Let's double check. I want to make sure this is season number 5. Rybread. How many seasons have you been in the league? Oh, of course. I have to do it this way. I think this is 5. I don't want to get it wrong, but hopefully year number 5 is the year Ryan Rybread finally makes the playoffs. So we've got season 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we got 5. Season 5. Hopefully he breaks, because like I said, this is a really mirror image of what's happening to Jack Eichel in real life. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Here we are, guys, at the end of year number 5, and well, you can see the big sim to draft button. We have not made the playoffs yet. That's 5 seasons. That's all the time I was giving myself for this episode. Let's go ahead and check out, Rybread had 80 points. It was a down season for him. He's still at 96, minus 35. Bergeron had 78. Mantha had 66. I mean, the team didn't look so bad. Was the defenseman the problem? Oh, God, it was horrible. Oh, my God. Goaltending-wise, Holtby had a bad season. Villalta actually had a better season than Holtby, I guess. Holtby played 72 games, though. Like, Jesus. Not a horrible season for Holtby. Man, this is terrible. I don't think Rybread's going to win any trophies besides the Calder in his rookie season. We will go ahead and pick this up on Twitch. Oh my God, Tyler Sagan, Jesus. We will go ahead and pick this up on Twitch, though. So that is the end of this my superstar. I put him on Detroit just because I thought maybe, he would beast. He did beast. Through 5 seasons, he's gotten an amazing amount of points, I would say. I think he's just about point per game for the first 5 seasons of his career. 206 goals, 414 points in 410 games. Still a plus 19 after a minus 35 season. Maybe we'll intervene on Twitch. You guys let me know what you want to see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.